Welcome to the Dartington Food Fair. My name is Collin D Pereira. I come from the Lavani restaurant in Belfast. It has been an honor to get the opportunity to display some of my dishes here for the festival. Lavani is a speciality Indian restaurant based in Wellswood, Torquay. If you would like to experience the power of culinary India, Lavani is the place. Think Indian, think Lavani. My menu features dishes from different regions of India, mainly the culinary regions of India. I also feature local produce from Brixham, Gribble's lamb shank, Cornish venison, wood pigeon, pheasant. Most of the ingredients I use in my menu are locally sourced from Devon, if not within the UK. With chefs from Goa, Kerala and New Delhi, my aim is to bring to UK a true taste of India. And I've covered all the major regions of India, the culinary regions. So there is something for everyone in the menu. Because of this reason, we recently won the Gold Award. In fact, we are the first Indian restaurant to win the Gold Award, the prestigious Gold Award by the Taste of the West.
I think that deserves a round of applause on what you've done. I think that's absolutely fabulous.
Thank you. And there is one other thing which I'm sure will attract everyone. My menu and my dishes, my recipes, emphasis low-calorie dishes.
Woohoo!
High in protein, low in fat dishes which you can enjoy without being worried about the waistline. Of course, my wife cooks some homemade food and I'm growing in the middle, but I'm keeping an eye on this. So today I've chosen 2 dishes to be cooked within 45 minutes. The first dish I've chosen is called Brixham Crab. As it's self-explanatory, the crab comes from Brixham. I can see a cracking crab. There's a gentleman displaying some crab outside
That's Alan's
as I speak.
Yes.
And this dish in full is called Brixham Crab with Thangasseri black pepper. It is a tongue twister. Thangasseri is nothing but the name of a place in Kerala, South India, where my wife comes from. So why Thangasseri? Thangasseri used to be an ancient port, very popular among the seafaring traders of Europe and Arabia. It was the Arabs who came first, followed by the Jews, followed by the Dutch, the Portuguese, and in the end, the British. And all of them left a mark. And Thangasseri is particularly popular for trading in black pepper. In fact, Sir Robert Polk, who hails from Torquay, was the governor of the Madras presidency in 1733, which means Torquay and India is directly connected. And to commemorate this Indian connection, I have a dish in my menu called Sir Robert Polk Scallop Curry.
Wonderful.
And there's also another dish which I do in my Innovation of the Week, which is dedicated to Freddie Mercury. I don't think he needs any introduction.
I don't think he does either. He has Indian.
Yeah, he has Indian parents from Gujarat. He belongs to the Parsi community. He moved from Zanzibar to UK, and he learned his first piano lessons in India. And I dedicated one dish called ondio, made of aubergines or brinjal or eggplant, to commemorate this gentleman who is well known, the songwriter and lyricist and the vocalist of the Queen band.
Wonderful. Is it a rocking dish?
It is, yes. So, towards him, you commemorate it to his memory, because, yes. So let's get to the cooking. I will be showing you how to prepare. Again, I've chosen this dish because it's quite simple. It features Brixham crab, and crab meat is very tasty if you know how to cook them. First of all, what I would like to do is distribute some of the already cooked dish to you. So before I start, or as I start, you can have a taste, tingle your taste buds, wake up your taste buds and get a feel of what actually goes into it. Make it out for yourself. You might be correct. And as I go through with the preparation of the dish, you might get a complete picture.
Yes, an interactive experience here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'm coming out over the... Can you all hear me? Hear me okay? I was shouting earlier. Am I coming out? I'm really looking forward to this bit.
So we will switch on the burner. Nice little pan, and I'm cooking just 2 portions live because of the time restrictions. I will be using coconut oil, is what we used in Kerala for this particular dish. My mom uses coconut oil because in Kerala we have more coconut trees than human beings, and there's plenty of coconut available. Here, coconut oil solidifies in this temperature. So because the UK clientele is not really used to coconut oil, I thought it's only fair for me to add 50% coconut oil and 50% vegetable oil. So let's add a bit of coconut oil.
A lot of supermarkets do now have coconut oil. I think it's becoming...
Yes, they do, yes.
Because of its lack of trans fats, which is to be applauded. As Collin said, healthy meal. Absolutely.
Coconut is, research has shown, it is free of cholesterol. And it is obviously the biggest nut in the world. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that the oil is nice and hot, which makes a lot of difference. So I don't know if there is a thermometer to check the temperature of hot oil. So what I would like to do is...
Water?
Yeah, but water is a very good option, but I would like to put some mustard seeds, 1 or 2 mustard seeds to check, because I'm going to be adding mustard seeds anyway. So I'll just throw in 1 mustard seed. And if it crackles, splutters straight away when the oil is hot. It hasn't, it takes a bit of time. So I think I'll leave it a few more minutes. So the oil gets nice and hot. You throw in some mustard seeds, followed by curry leaves, which is a major flavouring herb from India. I think, let's say, yes, I think it's between, let's say, 80 and 90 degrees Celsius. In Celsius. Yes, and curry leaf is a major flavouring agent for most South Indian dishes, particularly if it comes from Kerala. And there's a saying, to give you an idea about what the curry leaf does to the curry, there is a saying in my place which goes thus: don't treat me like a curry leaf.
And what happens?
Which means it is use and throw. You add the curry leaf to the oil just to make sure that the flavours come into the dish, and you don't necessarily eat the leaf.
Used and abused.
I think so, if you want to say that.
Poor old curry leaf.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, but then it adds to the flavour, yes. So we all, at some point in our lives, I'm sure, would have been used like a curry leaf without us knowing.
Let's take a moment just to sit with that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to add some mustard seeds. I think you can hear them crackle, sputter, which is very important. That makes a lot of difference to the flavour. This is something which no books or recipes will tell you. But yeah, it's already fully crackled. Then I'll be adding some curry leaf. So we've got oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil, mustard, curry leaf, and then we've got to get some onions ready. So I've just moved them across. We need some finely chopped onions.
Just like to take a moment to thank very much RGM Inspirations for sponsoring this event. These are the kitchen, they have provided the kitchen. They are our sponsors and supplier of the kitchen. They have a large showroom with working displays and they're from Dartmouth. So we thank them very much indeed.
I understand it is a very nice and new hob, and the flame is nice and uniform, nice and blue. So you can use this for making curries at home, I think.
Wonderful.
Right, I've got this mix of coconut oil, vegetable oil, mustard seeds, curry leaf, and now I'll bring the temperature up a little bit and add some finely chopped onions. Since I'm using only 2 portions, I'll be adding, let's say...
Just coming around now is that promise crab with Thangasseri
tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of finely chopped onions. Again, what to add first and what goes next. How long should the first one stay before the second ingredient goes in? And should the third ingredient become brown before the fourth ingredient goes in? Are all very important aspects which determines the taste and the flavour of the dish when it reaches your table. And for this particular dish, it's important that the onion becomes brown, not for all dishes. So a bit of patience. I prefer to use low flame, long time, rather than high flame, short time, unless you're in a hurry. So how many of you enjoy cooking? How many of you enjoy eating?
Hands off.
Exactly. Eating is one of the most enjoyable things human beings does, and we cannot live without it. There wouldn't be history, there wouldn't be poems, there wouldn't be countries, there wouldn't be nothing without food. It is said that a man spends 7 years of his life eating. If you add up all the time you spend, from the first suck of the mother's milk to the last.
Wow, 7 years well spent, I'd say. What do we think of the crab?
Do you think we spend 7 years today, considering the complexity of life, our eating habits, eating styles? I think we spend less and less time eating. As a family, we tend to eat less and less homemade family dinners, more and more. So as you can see, the oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil, mustard, curry leaf, and finely chopped fresh onions are nice and brown. And I will be adding a paste, mixture of garlic and ginger. We call it GNG paste, or simply ginger and garlic paste, where you can make it by adding equal quantities of ginger and equal quantities of garlic.
Is it important to brown the onions, Collin?
Yeah, for this particular dish, it's very important that the onions are brown, so that it gives a slightly smoky flavour. So How do you think? Do you get any flavors coming through?
Can we smell it?
The crab?
I can. Wonderful. It's coming through.
Can you smell what I'm cooking? But I understand you're already tasting it.
Using all your senses.
A treat for your senses. Dig in, be thrilled. Please fire away questions if you have any as I go through. I'll be more than happy to answer it. So the mix, we call it the tarka, is nice and ready, and it's time to add some crab meat. I will be using white crab meat.
Where we are.
White crab meat, just the meat. We try our best to take away the shell, but some shells may remain. So I'm adding it's roughly around 200 grams of white crab meat is what I'm adding. There are different ways of making this dish. One way is to add the masalas onto the oil before you add the crab meat, or you can saute the crab meat in the mix of oil and herbs and mustard seeds and ginger garlic paste which you made, and then slightly add the masalas in the end. This dish is quite simple because it features Brixham crab meat and black pepper. So I'll be using coarsely ground black pepper, which is also called the Queen of Spices.
Why is it called that then, Colin?
Sorry?
Why is it called the Queen of Spices?
Well, wars have been fought because of the magical qualities of spices. Anti-aging, anti-wrinkling, anti-hair shedding, aphrodisiac qualities, you name it.
No.
Most of the spices we use in Indian cuisine has medicinal values. In Ayurvedic cuisine, there is a concept called the holistic approach, which says you are what you eat. So the link between you and nature lies in satisfying the six tastes the human being can recognize. So if food can satisfy, or when food satisfies the six tastes known to man, that's when we directly link with nature. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know, food speaks to us through taste. And our taste buds heals our body through food. So you can get the lovely smell of this crab. I just don't feel like breathing out. I would like to keep the smell inside as long as possible.
You must be very, very healthy.
The line between hunger and anger is very thin. That's the reason why I've got some food out there. No one should go hungry.
And nobody's feeling angry. We're all feeling relaxed. Satisfied our taste buds.
Is everything going okay according to plan? The flavors, the aroma, the cooking sound?
Yep. Sounds good. Smells good. Colin is known as the top hat chef.
That's a top hat fun chef because cooking is fun.
Absolutely. And we like to promote the fact that it's easy and practical.
Yes.
And for anybody to source ingredients locally in the supermarket.
You're right. Yes. It can be prepared using local Brixham squid. Brixham crab meat, black pepper. Right. Now, curry leaf is the only thing which is a bit hard to get. You can get them online, or you can just give me a call on 20 30 40, which is my restaurant phone number. I can give you ingredients. We have a DIY pack of masalas and spices which you can buy and cook yourself.
20, 30.
Please do not hesitate, ladies and gentlemen. Just give it a go. You may get wrong. Just give it a go.
Why not?
Because there is no universal formula. It's a rule of thumb, trial and error. You do it first, second time, third time, definitely you will get it right. Sorry, sir?
It's got to be white.
This is white.
What would happen if you use the brown as well?
Yes, I don't use the brown for this particular dish because there's too much strong flavors. But when I make a curry, I mix 75% white and 25% brown meat, which gives the texture. The white gives the texture and the brown gives the flavor. But I have to confess, the dish which you just tasted has some brown in it. Right, you can see the texture and the consistency, nice and dry, because this is a starter which we are making. Now it's time to add the magic spices. So first of all, I'll be adding some black pepper. If you like to get some information about the quantities, the proportion, the recipe, and the method of preparation, please contact me on lavani.co.uk@gmail.com. Well, as you can see, my website address is embedded in my email.
You'll have the information on the receipt, so please.
Or please give me a call on 01803 20 30 40. If you manage to forget 20 30 40, I've got 21 31 41. Well, it's nice. The consistency is nice. It's got a bit of the crab meat stuck to the bottom. It doesn't matter. That all adds to the smoky flavour. So.
That good to hear. When something sticks to the bottom, it actually adds some flavour. That's to be celebrated, I think. So.
Yes, nothing to worry about.
Wonderful.
So we've already added the black pepper, and there's one more spice. It's quite simple. One more spice which we add, which is a mix of 9 spices. It's called the garam masala, which forms a major ingredient in Indian cuisine in most of the dishes. This particular garam masala is homemade, and it comprises of 9 ingredients. A normal garam masala which you buy from shops, they have different ingredients, and each garam masala, each home, each mother, each company makes it differently. I make the one which my mom makes at home, which has got 9 ingredients. How many of you know Rick's Time? Yes, he's a great chef. I love what he did with India. And his garam masala has got 7 ingredients, which is a nice one. But mine has got 9 ingredients, which I think is my signature, which adds the difference to my dish. So I will have to make sure this is garam masala. Sorry, ma'am?
Did somebody have a question? No, I did. You read my mind. That was spooky. Are we allowed to know the ingredients? Or is
Yes,
it
if you like to know the mix of this garam masala, the easiest way is to first ring me on 20 30 40 and buy a DIY pack.
There you go.
And then once you start using my garam masala, if you like it, and if you take it seriously, then I will give away the recipe.
Wow. He's good.
Well, I can give you the ingredients, but again, the secret lies in the proportion. What proportion of what, and what proportion of each ingredient makes a lot of difference when it comes to garam masala. I use very sparingly, little bit, not too much. So we've added the garam masala. Give it a nice mix. Can you see how it looks? The consistency, the texture, the color. There is something else which you can add if you would like to have a bit more pungent, spicy. Is fresh green chilies which can be added. We use fresh green chilies marked in India. And if I guess, this particular dish is the innovation of the week starter. There is a dish under the starters, the last one if you have a look at my menu, it's called the Mr. Pereira's Innovation of the Week. So this week's innovation is Brixham crab with Thangasseri black pepper. So we've got all the ingredients. Can anyone of you recollect what I've added to this pan? From the start or in order? It doesn't matter.
Let's have a go, shall we? What did we start with?
Coconut oil.
Or vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil, yes.
Mustard seeds, lady, yes.
Mustard seeds.
What else went in? What was after that?
I'm just checking if you're all switched on. Curry leaf, ground black pepper, yes.
And the all-important and
ginger garlic paste.
Oh, the garlic.
Ginger and garlic, exactly. 1:1.
Yeah.
Ginger garlic paste.
onions.
Finely chopped onions, which gives the body to the dish. It's a thickening agent. It gives the body a texture and the flavour to the dish. Nicely browned up, and then you add the masalas, which again includes black pepper, garam masala. There's one ingredient which I would like to add is salt. Salt to taste. And then I also add 2 herbs. One is fresh coriander and finely chopped mint leaf, which is very easy to get, which also adds to the overall flavour of the dish. So first let's add some salt or sodium chloride, which enhances the flavour of any dish.
Is that any particular type of salt?
Well, for this one I use common cooking salt, but there is a dish in my menu. It used to be called the Creation of the Week, where we featured a dish made with Everest goat curry with Himalayan salt. How many of you have heard about the Himalayan salt? Yeah, it's also called the pink salt, which is very highly nutritive content. It has all the 87 minerals that the human body requires. Less toxic compared to other salt because they are buried under the Himalayas. It is a health food salt as well, I was told, the pink salt. So we did have that, but for this one I'm using common salt. And then it's time to add, well, after adding salt, I always prefer to taste, to make sure the salt is right and everything is right. The best way to do is to use your taste buds judgment. There is no equipment which can tell you if the salt is right. It tastes okay to me. So we add a bit of chopped coriander and half quantity compared to the coriander of mint. So I will be, that's the first starter. Brixham Crab Meat with Thangasseri black pepper.
I think we'd all agree that tasted absolutely gorgeous.
So did you enjoy the taste of the Brixham crab meat?
I enjoyed it. You still feel the tang of the pepper. Really punchy, isn't it?
Now, at my restaurant, we serve it in a plate, nicely decorated in a mold, and the accompaniment sauces we do are the tomato chutney, mint chutney, and apricot chutney. And they have their own ingredients, and all enhances the flavor of the crab meat. It's a whole meal experience. And my starters are designed to stimulate your appetite and to make you crave for the next course. Not to fill you up.
You've succeeded there.
So how many of you are thirsty, like to have a beer after tasting my crab?
You'll find plenty of artisan beers on site.
So that's our crab meat with the Thangasseri black pepper.
I'll see that. Do feel free to stand up and come and have a look.
Yes, please. Yes, and it doesn't. You won't find this in my menu because this is the innovation of the week. I chose this dish this week, and that's when the cookery show came up. So I thought it'd be only fair for me to do this at the demo. At the Torquay Food Festival on the 4th of May, I did a dish which is our squid olatu. Again from Kerala with coconut, but this doesn't have any coconut. Brixham squid, nice and soft and tender squid, cooked with Indian spices and fresh coconut. And we also serve a bit of crispy salad on the side, which is made of carrot noodles, beetroot noodles, and lettuce, mixed lettuce leaves with my own salad dressing, which is made of apple, Indian spices, and vinegar. So how many of you enjoyed watching me cook the crab, eating the crab?
I think we all did, didn't we? Yeah, it was really lovely. Thank you so much, Collin. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there is one more dish which I will be cooking today, which is usually served as a main course. This particular dish is called Molee, M-O-L-L-Y, or it's spelled as M-O-L-E-E. It comes from Kerala, a typical Kerala dish made with very subtle aromatic Indian spices, nice and mild. It's not about the heat. Very subtle flavors, of which coconut is highlighted. So it's time to get some coconut in. So it is some kind of a coconut stew, fish stew type of a curry with subtle coconut milk, turmeric powder, curry leaf, and you can cook it with most fish dishes. It is basically a fish dish. Molee is also a kind of fish found, a tropical fish found in the salt waters of America. But this particular dish is called Molee, comes from Kerala, South India, and I'm doing it today with small prawns. So fasten your seatbelts.
Are you ready?
Come on here. Eh? Put it in. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my crab cake which we serve at the restaurant.
Doesn't that look lovely? Look at that. Do come and have a look, have a closer look if you like. Beautiful.
So ladies and gentlemen, please have a look at our crab meat cake. Get a nice shot of the dish.
It's a work of art. It's feast for all.
You eat with your eyes.
You do. How lovely. It's wonderful how it all holds together.
Yeah.
I've never been able to manage that.
It's very dry, isn't it? So,
Yes, that's the
Exactly. The
secret.
sauces which are at the side gives the moisture.
yeah.
And this is aimed as a starter just to stimulate your gastric juices.
Wow.
And the salad also adds to the... It is a balanced meal, balanced dish.
Yes, it is. Yes. You go with a big appetite.
I always recommend my guests skip lunch before coming to Lavani.
Good advice. How lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. for interacting with me and taking part. And I tend to get nervous every now and then, but when I look at the faces, I draw in the energy from you, which gives me the strength to go on. Yes. So, do you think we need a break? From Kerala, which is a kind of a fish stew made with very subtle ingredients. First, I will be adding some coconut oil. Before, and then we got a bit of vegetable oil, coconut oil, vegetable oil getting nice and hot. And for this particular dish, I will be adding the 3 C's we call cinnamon, cardamom, and cloves.
That's the 3 C's. We might make a little announcement actually, Colin, just
Cloves,
to tell people that you're here. Okay. And you're cooking prawn molee.
Yeah, prawn molee from Kerala.
Come along.
So the oil is nice and hot. I've thrown in one of each. Cardamom, cinnamon, and cloves. And now I will be adding some freshly chopped onions again.
Shall I just let everyone know what you're up to, Colin? Just one moment. Come along to our demonstration tent here in the first level car park next to Pod 24, where Collin D Pereira will be continuing to show us his wonderful, wonderful Indian cooking. Collin is from the Lavani restaurant in Torquay, described as a visionary and top hat chef, and he's wearing his top hat, everybody. He's cooking prawn molee. He's just shared with us a wonderful starter, and we got to taste it, so you may be able to taste this one too, but the smell should draw you in. Come along to our demonstration tent for Collin D Pereira, beg your pardon, of Lavani restaurant in Torquay.
So we've added some coconut oil, the 3 C's, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, and for this particular dish, we do not want the onions to be brown. We just need to sweat it. So when the onions are slightly soft, and please do not brown it, I will be adding a fresh ginger. If you can note, this particular dish, we do not add any garlic. It's only ginger, just freshly, finely chopped ginger, as you can see. And
we don't brown the onions for this one.
We don't, no. It has to be sweated or soft.
Sweated onions.
Sweated out. And now it's time to add ginger, freshly ground ginger. It is again a very simple dish. As you can see, I'm making it nice and quick. All it needs is 3 C's, oil, coconut, vegetable oil, finely chopped onions, ginger, which is available everywhere. This dish, I'm making only 2 portions, and we haven't, if you want to like to taste it, if you like to taste it, please pop into Lavani, but you can taste the one I'm making here today. So the onions are nice and ready, so I prefer to keep it out of the oil before we add the spices. Here again we add a little bit of coriander powder, which we didn't use for the previous dish. Freshly ground coriander, which is also a flavouring spice of most Indian dishes. And again, I'm taking it off the flame so it doesn't get overcooked or browned. Then we've got slight touches of black pepper.
Do you come and sit down if you'd like?
Turmeric powder, which also adds to the flavour of the dish. This is a kind of a fish stew, nice and mild and subtle from Kerala.
Very easy to make.
Very easy to make. All you need is coconut oil plus vegetable oil. Coconut oil is optional, of course. 3 C's, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, which are the 3 C's. Finely chopped onions, do not brown them. And basic powders, coriander powder, turmeric powder, and black pepper. And sometimes I also add a very unique specialty spice called asafoetida, which can be purchased online. It is optional again. I add just a little bit of asafoetida.
Are we allowed to know what that is? Or
Asafoetida is a special spice, which is in fact the extract of the tree, the milk of the tree, which is dried and powdered. Asafoetida is added, and now I put it back into the pan, and we've got freshly ground coconut. Coconut is the main ingredient of this particular dish.
Lovely.
So I've already bought some coconut, freshly ground, from my restaurant. If you'd like to have the recipe, the proportion, etc. of this dish, please contact me on lavani.co.uk.
He's good at this. He'll give you the telephone number in a minute, won't you, Colin?
Yes, the phone number is very hard to forget, easy to remember, 20 30 40. 01803 20 30 40. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the consistency we have at the moment, and the colour will change. It looks like a stew, and I can get the aroma coming through it.
Can you smell it?
Spices, not too browned onions, coriander powder, touches of black pepper, turmeric powder, which gives the yellow colour to the dish. And I will have to get some tomatoes. Tomato can be replaced sometimes with lemon juice, vinegar, tamarind, but today I'm using tomatoes. And we will add some water. That's plain tap water.
Smelling really good. I'm in the best place here.
So how many of you enjoy cooking?
Do we all enjoy cooking? Hands up, everybody. Big and small. Who enjoys eating? Yes.
And can anyone tell me the 6 tastes that human beings can recognize?
Yes.
The 6 tastes known to human beings. Salt, bitter. Salt, I'm adding some salt.
I think I know it, but I'm going to keep quiet.
Salt, yes. Sweet, bitter, salt, sweet.
That's 4. Is that 4?
Sour.
Is it umami? Is it umami?
Yeah, umami is also, but in Ayurvedic cuisine, it's a mix of savory and spice. We call it, well, spicy, pungent. And the last one is astringent, which is a medicinal taste in Ayurvedic. Umami is also a taste, astringent. Yeah, umami mostly promoted in the Chinese flavors. It's a mix of savory and spice.
A little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. We've all learned. So it's astringent.
Yeah, every country have their own taste. So in Indian cuisine, Ayurvedic, according to Ayurvedic, they say it's sweet, sour, bitter, salty, pungent, which is of course the chilies, pungent, and astringent. 6 tastes known to human beings, and food must satisfy the 6 tastes. Then it is done when we connect to nature, according to the holistic approach.
And that's very, very good for our health, as you said earlier.
You are what you eat. That is the holistic approach to food. So ladies and gentlemen, I've added the prawns. The curry is nice. You add the prawns when the sauce starts to boil. And prawns will take some time to cook, and it's always worth checking. Taking out a piece of prawn and checking. Roughly give it 5 to 8 minutes in nice and boiling. And it looks like the burners are nice and clean, and the flame is blue. So depending on the age of your kitchen and the burners, you can determine the cooking times, I think.
But again, anybody can cook this meal. It's simple. The ingredients are easily sourced locally. Many of them in the supermarket.
That's right.
Lovely. Thank you, top hat chef.
Again, you're free to add some green chilies if you like it spicier. We don't use red chilies, it's mostly green chilies.
Why is that, Colin?
Because this particular dish, we want to get the raw flavors. The raw flavors of ingredients. That's perhaps why I recommended not to brown the onions. because we want the raw flavors of the dishes coming through, not the smoky one like the previous dish I did. Because you want to get the freshness of the coconut coming through, and you don't want the dry red chili, because dry red chili is dry. So we recommend to put in some green chilies. Everything is green.
So
coconut, fresh coconut.
Oh, right. So that's the golden rule. Everything is green.
And fresh curry leaf. Okay. This particular dish, I don't know if you've noticed, I didn't add the curry leaf to the oil. The previous one I did add to the oil because we want the smoky flavors coming through. This one is like the raw flavors.
So we don't add the curry leaf until the other ingredients.
Until you can, the last is the last. You've got the flavour of the curry leaf coming through. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm just waiting for the prawns to cook, which shouldn't take more than 5 to 7 minutes.
Is timing everything with prawns? Because I've had some disasters, I have to admit.
Yeah, because you can get rubbery. It's very easy to get. But again, cooking seafood is a different ball game. Most of the restaurants around here don't do seafood because you have to cook them individually. You can't cook all the seafood in a big pot and keep it because it's going to break up and all going to go soggy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your patience. I think it is ready for tasting. So would anyone be brave enough to taste the molee?
Should we have a line of well-behaved volunteers to taste the molee? Don't be shy.
So Mr. Daniel will be helping you taste the dish. Yes.
Don't be shy. Collin, and he'll let you taste it.
Spoon it. Well, again, I've added a paste of coconut, fresh coconut paste. You can substitute it with coconut cream, desiccated coconut and coconut milk, which brings in the flavors of the fresh coconut.
Wow.
Spoons.
Oh, it looks like it might even be coming to you. Might actually bring it to you. Lots to taste.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you can kindly come forward, then I can serve them. It's only a taste. Do you want to serve a little girl? Yeah. It's a taster, folks, and if you like to enjoy this dish, this particular dish is featured in my menu. My menu is available at your seats. I'm sure it tastes as good as it smells.
Thank you very much. It smells wonderful. Wow. Taste buds are tingling. Don't be shy.
I apologise for the portion size.
But we know where to go if we would like
any more. Lavani.co.uk, next to the Kent's Cavern, and next to the Cooperative Food, and very close to the Osborne Hotel in Torquay. Please feel free to try, and please compliment and complain. I like both criticism and compliments. Compliments give me the energy and a liking for this profession, and complaints puts challenges in front of me. So I take criticism and compliments equally. And if you like my cookery show and the dishes I prepared, kindly go to tripadvisor.co.uk and put a comment for us.
That's TripAdvisor.
tripadvisor.co.uk, and you can also go to lavani.co.uk and go into TripAdvisor from my website. So we got some more taste tests. Please grab before it finishes.
It's got the seal of approval from the front row here.
What get more boxes? Mum, did you taste my prawns?
I'd like to taste those,
yes,
please.
Let's,
don't leave me out.
Make sure.
Are they ordinary cold water prawns?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they weren't the
No. Well, you can make this with the big prawns. You can make it with sea bass. The other fish I recommend is sea bass, king prawns, monkfish, locally available Brixham fish, and not the flat fish, it's like chunky fish, that's a bit, even sea bass, Molee is very popular in my restaurant, yes. This is one of the most popular dishes in my, I've got a page dedicated to fish curries alone. So if you look at that, it's called Malayalam Molee. Malayalam is the language of Kerala, and it is a palindrome. Malayalam can be read from left and right, it says Malayalam.
Great.
It is a regional vernacular of Kerala, South India.
I think we'll all agree it tastes absolutely delicious.
My fish page is called Fisherman's Cove. There's a dedicated page for fish curries. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
Collin.
taking part of this cookery show.
Collin and Mary.
I hope you enjoy the flavors.
Thank you so much.